The classroom is the student's second home. This is why it's essential to create an environment that is welcoming, positive, encouraging, and interactive. The physical environment should include flexible seating, allowing the student to work comfortably where they can focus and be the most productive. It is important to consider the layout of the classroom, such as how to group students in seating arrangements in order to promote interaction in small and whole group. The environment should also include a pop of color, yet not in an obnoxious way. This can be done by displaying content on the walls that is also a helpful reminder for students. For example, anchor charts, word walls, child's artwork. In order to have a positive learning environment in the classroom, it all starts with me. It's important to model to the students what a positive learning environment looks like and a healthy habit for our classroom community. I can model this by making eye contact with students while they are talking and actively listening during conversation. Another way I can model is by showing students respect, such as addressing them by their proper name and using manners while engaging with them. As an educator, not only do I want to teach them academically, but I want to instill good habits that are going to be beneficial later on in life. One size does not fit all when it comes to learners. For my students, I want to break the mold and create new opportunities for them to show their potential. Understanding that multiple intelligence is the ability will help me in my approach of teaching. For instance, if I have a student that has difficulty putting together their thoughts on paper after reading a story, I can provide a graphic organizer that allows the students to draw instead of write. From there, I would have the student explain what they drew. This will give them the ability to tell the story from their point of view through pictures. Opportunities like these help the students take their style of learning and apply it to the content. As an educator, I need to provide those resources for the different learning styles in the classroom. Materials can be used to scaffold literacy learning, such as graphic organizers, Venn diagrams, sentence structures, and sentence starters. This helps the students by guiding them and forming their thoughts. Another way to scaffold is reading aloud. While doing so, I can model through gestures to help the students better understand the content. Visuals are not just for making the room colorful, but they are also for enhancing the students' learning. My vision for my classroom management would look like a community of students working together through discussion, hands-on activities, and independent work. To create this environment, first I will need to set the expectations for my students. Looking at the behaviors in the classroom, I want to acknowledge and praise the positive. I can do so by walking around my classroom and recognizing the students on task and working by praising and encouraging them. It is important to give value to students' work, and this can be done through praise. For any student that is struggling or showing behavior problems, I can take a moment to talk to them, showing that I care for them, as well as the problem they face. Letting the students know it's okay to have off days is important to show them they are human beings, and to teach coping skills will help them self-regulate. Each student processes, thinks, and remembers differently. In a classroom, I can provide visuals to make those connections for these learners. For social constructivism, I will have small group discussions, turn and talk moments, and discussions as a whole group in order to see how others think of the content learned. I want my classroom to be filled with diversity to match my students. In order to do this, we need to learn about each other's background. I can model and talk about my culture and background to show students how we are different. This is a great way to get families involved in the classroom and to share about their culture. A number of activities can follow by inviting culture and diversity into the classroom, not just through books, but visitors from the parents, artwork of the family celebrations, and more. I want my students to see their classroom as a second home and acknowledge their culture will do so. This is a great way to teach about classroom community and respect for one another when students start to learn and value each other. For assessing the students, they first need to know the expectations, along with the objective for the plan of the day. Knowing this information, it will guide them through their learning and help them stay on task by reaching a goal. Assessing being conducted by short answer exit tickets for daily content that is taught. During lessons, I will check for understanding by having the students turn and talk to a classmate to review the content. I will also have the student complete journal reflections of what they learned from the lesson. For weekly content, this can be done in a fun interactive game such as Kahoots for quizzes. I will collect formative and summative assessments to better assist myself when tweaking and revising my lessons. For my students, I want to create a safe, healthy, and learning environment as a classroom. I want to give my students a firm foundation of learning that they can grow in and mold to make their own. I not only want my students to succeed in my class, but in life as they continue to learn.